It is the 4th of January 2015.
Cheers, just because you got the fucking date right.
And this is the Robot Punch Gaming Podcast. I nearly forgot the name.
It's good enough, it's good enough.
It's
Keep
good
rolling.
enough. Cue music.
I am Carl Lipscomb, and today I'm joined by the man that is actually secretly a sleeper agent for the KGB, Dom Giles.
That's more.
Oh wait, Josh Crandon.
There you go.
That's how good my sleeper agent disguise is. You thought it was him. Yes, excellent.
Is that just like a more fitting?
They'll never know.
Since he secretly does work for the KGB, it seems sort of more fitting. Oh shit! Sorry.
It's fine, no one's watching.
And the man that is wearing a dead cat on his face, Dom Giles.
I'm back.
For the first time in like a month.
Literally, like since November.
The fuck have
Yeah.
you been?
I'm sorry.
He had a really long Christmas.
I had a really long Christmas.
Right,
Stuck
so
in traffic and washing his hair for a really long time.
I had to comb my beard.
He had to grow it first.
yeah, someone shaved off his beard. He couldn't come back on until it was grown.
I don't exist while I don't have a beard.
Yeah,
It's just-
he has been here.
I don't have corporeal form.
Alright, so this is the fourth part of the year in gaming Robot Punch stuff. Game of the year, extravaganza, Abe's Odyssey.
Extravaganza Abe's Odyssey.
Hello.
So yes, we're gonna finally give our own ones and talk about the year in gaming in general. This has rather been a year of failure and bad networks, and networks being taken down, and bad fans, and bad game developers, and everyone, I think, in general has some form
Basically,
of blame of
2014
being
just
an
sucked
arse.
a big fat hairy cock, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just short of bringing out ET, yeah?
Yeah.
Found it.
The next gen consoles didn't quite perform as well. I mean, like sales wise, they performed more than anyone
Yeah, fucking
could have
Wii U was
wanted,
doing
I think.
great.
But, oh yeah, apart from that. Oh, I don't know.
Whoa, too soon for the Wii U.
Mario Kart and Smash Bros are some of the top selling games of the year.
I
though,
know,
as well.
that's what I mean. Like,
But yeah, so yeah, both consoles sold well, but they didn't perform well. Xbox did a lot of updates and really improved their service, but there's still a lot of problems that people
I
have. with
bought
it.
one.
So yeah,
Me too.
you did. PlayStation did a few updates. There was obviously as many people crying about it, but I think people got into the cycle of just hating on Microsoft at one point anyway. And then they started to come back later on in the year with sales. November, Black Friday, they started to beat PlayStation. And now Michael Pachter, the industry analyst, who said early on in the year Xbox is done for and PlayStation's going to completely win this generation, has now gone, actually, I might be wrong. I think Xbox is going to come back in 2015 and beat PlayStation. Which, I don't know, we have to wait and see, because...
Well, rather than make something not an accusation, but a prediction like that, regardless of whether things go right or wrong, you're always going to have fanboys for one system or another, or regardless of what it does. It's like people who like music or musicians, even when the musician brings out a shit album, they're still going to like the band or the person, even if they're a devout fan enough, and they'll just say it's good. I still like it, even if it's awful and they hate it deep down.
Yeah, well, I really like my Xbox. I'm sure if I had a PlayStation, I'd really like the PlayStation. I really want a PlayStation.
Exactly. I mean, we've already
predisposed.
That word towards what we like anyway.
Disposition. Have a predisposition.
Predisposed.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You both said it more than once, and I haven't said it once completely at all.
How many times do you want us to say it and take the piss?
I don't know. How many times do you want to say the date?
Fuck you and your donkey ass.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't know where you were going. You were saying that we have a predisposition to Xbox.
Yeah. Or no. What? Yeah. To what we've been playing for the last, maybe
years.
generation anyway. Anyone who's played a 360 is probably going to get an Xbox One. Not all, but most of people who've played a PlayStation 3 are most likely going to get a PS4. I mean, occasionally you get jumpers over. I jumped from a PlayStation 2 to an Xbox 360.
Yep.
But, I think that's
like
few and
9,
far
10 years
between.
ago.
Not many people will jump over, and if anything, people will buy both.
Yeah, there was quite a few people jumping over originally just because of like the bad press that came out of Microsoft at the start of this generation. But I think,
With
a
the
lot
new
of people
TV box.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had jumped back though, especially by Black Friday when the prices went down. I know I've adminning a large gaming group. I've seen a lot of people say that they've gone from one system to the other in this year. So like, it's not people haven't been straight down, but
No.
yeah, there are a lot of people will just go for what they had, especially with now there's like achievements or trophies, so you kind of don't want. A lot of people don't want to lose those.
Exactly, you can
Your
trade
friends
over.
lists, all that stuff.
Well, some
yeah.
games as well, if you've played it on the
Yeah.
360 and they bring it out on the one, like GTA, GTA 5, not GTA Online, but it works for GTA Online,
Yeah.
is that you can convert over your old 360 or PS3 character to your next-gen console version, which obviously makes a lot of people... But you don't carry your story over, apparently.
Well done, you just said the name of the game.
We're past that.
Just a question I want to throw out. What's going to come out first? GTA 5 Heists or Half-Life 3?
Heists
are actually...
they've kind of given them a time frame of early this year now, but yeah, I don't know.
It's taken long enough.
Yeah.
I think Gabe was sort of like, do I open the case? No, I can wait.
Just a little bit longer.
It's not done yet.
I think they were definitely holding back for the new systems. I think once it started getting into it, they were
Of course
like,
they were.
Yeah,
they said
they
it
were
to
like, well, we
360
might
and
as well.
PlayStation 3 players. Yeah, no, they'll be out probably after they've been out for the next gen.
yeah. So you go and buy it on the next gen
and
one,
dumbed
and
down
then get
as
it,
well.
yeah.
There'll be less content.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's still there. We didn't break any promises.
Yeah.
Just very late.
Yes, very very late. It'd be like nearly. It'd be. Over
It feels
a
like
year
it's
and a
taken
half,
Duke
I
Nukem
think.
forever.
That was worth the wait.
It was. I've waited so long to throw a turd at someone.
Yeah.
My favourite achievement that I have.
Oh, I don't want to touch this. Right,
Wow.
sorry.
Wow.
We digress.
Luckily, that didn't come out this year. That would have been the top of the.
That would have been the
turd
corn
bag.
on the turd, wouldn't it? the crowning corn on the turd cake.
Yeah. What else happened this year? We had big games with large marketing budgets crash under criticism, like Watch Dogs and Destiny. Don't know anything else like that. I can't think of any.
Still haven't bought Watch
but-
Dogs.
No, I haven't either. I doubt I will.
Yeah. Well, I've got something. Should I go through and say the charts of the global
Go
chart?
for it. I was actually going to, when it was first announced, before they released it, I was really interested in Watch Dogs. Then after hearing about how it performed on the 360 and people's reactions after... I mean, these obviously I don't tend to take people's reactions as a serious thing.
No, I tend to
rather get
ignore.
my own. But if it's a close friend of mine who, knows
Well,
what
I
he
mean,
likes and is similar-minded to me, then I'm going to take
fairness-
his opinion a little higher than someone else.
in fairness, all my friends are idiots, so I don't listen to them either. So, no, I almost bought Watch Dogs the other day. Somebody was selling one on the Facey Bookie Pagey thing for stuff for sale. And they only wanted 20 quid for it, but it turns out in Asda it's only 20 quid new, so I'm just going to buy it from Asda.
I actually really like Watch Dogs. It was one of my favourite games. I understand a lot of the criticism, and Watch Dogs 2 I think will be amazing. This one was
A beta test.
really, yeah, it wasn't great.
An expensive beta test.
Yeah, apparently the thing was that the reason it was pushed back was just because the game wasn't fun. So if it's the standard that it was in now compared to, I wonder what it was like before.
I can handle pushbacks in time,
Yeah.
things like that, because I understand that in the industry. I can understand if you need time to make it better, rather than if people say, "Oh, just give it to us now," and cave in like EA do, or just to make money and think, "All right, here it is." Wait, 8 patches later, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea and everything.
Yeah,
Great
they
idea.
should have done a lot more with the hacking, but yeah,
Well, that's what
I
it
thought
was
really fun.
advertised as, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
pretty much GTA or open world hacking.
The hacking they had in it was really fun, like doing traffic lights and all the controlling the world stuff. But they should have done more in depth with the hacking. Their hacking minigame they had was, I can't even remember what it was now. it was like connecting things, kind of like a pipe game, but kind of not. Like you had to actually, you were moving things around so you could move your.
Were they frustrating
thing
pipe
through.
games like Bioshock?
No, they weren't. They weren't like trying to do it before the water kind of thing comes through. It was like you had to move stuff so your beam could get around the thing.
All right.
So you wanted the thing to get to the other side, but it wasn't like rushing to it and then it stops. If it stopped at a point, it just stayed there, and then you move another bit and it goes through.
I thought that was a good idea in Bioshock, and it was well done because it actually made you think. And if you hadn't got a high enough skill to do it, it was pretty much impossible. The amount of times I screamed at my monitor when I couldn't get it done. Anyway,
I'll give you the. This is the global yearly chart from VG Charts. So I wouldn't take this as 100% because like everywhere's not going to be 100%.
You should ask Wikipedia.
They didn't have it. I think it's too early for a lot of places. Just didn't have a decent yearly chart. Some of the ones I found were from November or early December, which was dumb. Others I found were from June or July. So, well, that's not helpful in the slightest. So, right, this is also.
So it's a very, very tired cat down there.
This is also split into. This isn't just a game. This is the version of the game on each console as well. So you got Minecraft 360 at number 10.
No shit.
Watch Dogs PS4 at number 9. So there you go. Already one that people said was shit. Apparently did actually well. Mario Kart 8 at number 8.
Yeah.
FIFA 15 PS3 number 7. Destiny PS4 number 6. GTA 5 PS4 at number 5. There's actually not an Xbox One game in here.
Oops.
Well, shit.
Yeah. So that's just a global list. I think some of the others I found did have them. So Super Smash Bros. Number 4. COD AW number 3.
That was okay.
FIFA 15 PS4. Oh, that was on PS4 as well. COD AW. FIFA 15 PS4 at number 2, and Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire number 1.
Really? And what's this site off?
This is VG Charts. This is the site.
A handheld game.
Do you want to see if I can get?
Take off.
I'll try and get the UK one. So they've got a UK list here as Wells.
So is that just the world or
that was
America?
That was global. Yeah, that was across the whole world. So is this actually loaded? No, that hasn't loaded.
People
the
do
England
love their
one.
football, don't they?
I know. I was looking at, what was it?
Are they any different, the games?
Forbes top video games of 2014. I don't think it's like a top 10. I think it's just a top games. I didn't count how many.
Yeah, no, that Forbes one annoyed me. I think that was from like that didn't actually have sales or anything.
No, it's just like the best or like the top selling games.
Was it? I don't know. I found
What's
it and
that
it was
one?
annoying me for some reason. So I got UK chart here.
Oh, they're just showing pictures. They're not labelling them.
Yeah.
No, they labelled them further down, but
there's no order. That was it on that one.
I just looked at it to remind
This is saying these games are good of this year.
These are games that happen.
In the UK, right? Oh, wait till you get to the top 3. Jesus Christ! Right. Destiny PS4 at number 10. COD AW 360 at number 9. FIFA 15 PS3 at number 8. COD AW Xbox One at number 7. COD AW PS4 at number 6. GTA 5 PS4 at number 5. Minecraft 360 at number 4. FIFA 15 Xbox One number 3. FIFA 15 PS4 number 2. FIFA 15 360 number 1.
If it's not shooting or kicking a ball, it's not a game. Not in England.
And people complain when new games come out and try and do something slightly different, and they just
Yeah.
Oh, it's trying to copy this game too much. I don't like that. Ooh,
this
the
game's
latest
such a
instalment of the same game I've played for the last 10 years. Woo!
This Halo is just like the last Halo. It's so shit and boring. FIFA, Call of Duty, that's all you need.
The last FIFA game
Nintendo have ever released ever.
The only FIFA game I've ever owned was FIFA 2000, and that's because I was like 9.
I don't know when I last owned one, but last time I played one was last year. I think it was FIFA 14, and I played a game that was really fun called FIFA Shots, which is you just play FIFA, and each time you either get a like yellow or red card, you take a shot. If you knock the ball off the pitch, you take a shot. If someone scores a goal against you, you finish a drink, I think.
So I'd intentionally mess up so I could stop playing and just pass out.
The thing is, once you start losing, then you're just fucked. Because like obviously, the more drunk you get, the more shots you fuck up, or like the more you tackle people, so the more you just like go downhill really fast.
Paul Gascoigne managed it all right.
The US charts is pretty much the same, apart from they have Titanfall in it. Which,
Ah, Titanfall.
Well, at least they're more diverse.
Yeah.
Genuinely, they're more diverse in America.
They're Titanfall at number 8, and then the rest of them are the same games, just in different orders. Minecraft 360 at number 2.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to think of. Like, obviously when we come to it, sort of like the best games I've played this year. It wasn't that much this year.
It wasn't a great year.
I don't think it was really that good. Alright, so should we do our year last year of our lives? Jesus Christ, I'm doing this week's badly. This was meant to be a big one as well. Good one.
This is going to be a big one.
This one's supposed to be gooder than all the others.
Yeah.
And so far, it looks like chocolate mousse. You can go first.
Well,
sit back, everyone.
The last week of our lives. That's the new jingle for it. I went for a different theme.
Did you bring
happy.
a book with you? Did
So,
you bring the tome of your last
dear
year's
diary.
life? Let me start in the beginning. In the beginning, there was Dob.
No, that's the last year of our life. Are we literally just trying to stick it to like video games we played this year?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you had a child, which you haven't,
What
I
did I
mean,
know of?
you have one, but you haven't had one.
That I know of.
But I mean, big events like that, yeah.
To my knowledge, I don't think I've had any more children that I'm aware of. Wait, I mean, it could be.
5 children that are unaccounted for.
I have a second. Well, technically, you know, I got my new baby this year, which I think I love more than my former baby, which is my new Xbox. It's quieter and less hassle, and has more uses.
Yeah.
Look, it's going to love you when he watches this.
He's never going to watch this. Besides, I'm horrible to him. Like I'm horrible to him to his face, so it's okay.
Oh, fair
He's
enough.
horrible back.
Yeah.
It's how we do things. But yeah, no, I was trying to think of games to sort of I've played this year, and I mean going through the lists that you're going through or looking at things online for like the best selling games, most successful. I played fuck all this year.
Yeah.
I've literally done like not a lot. I've watched a lot of TV, watched a lot of shows, watched a lot of anime, but not really played fuck all.
Yeah. Well.
I've watching. I've recently been watching fucking. I don't know if it's the newer version of it, but Full Metal Alchemist.
What, Brotherhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not... Well, it's the newer version. I mean, it came out quite a while ago. But it's it's the proper version. It's what's the actual manga.
Okay.
The original series changed the story quite a lot,
Yeah.
apparently. I haven't watched the original one.
No, I know of it, but I was looking around for new things to watch because no more, still no Attack on Titan. Although I've now finished. It doesn't look like there's going to be a new manga in a while. I'm on book 14, and there doesn't seem to be. Whereas the other ones, when I've bought them, it's like, and if you can pre-order now for next month when the next one comes out. But I've had 14 for like 2 months now, and there's still no sign of like them releasing any new bits. So maybe they're sort of on hold or on.
Yeah, they might be. They might be like, I don't know. They might be discussing stuff with like the animation team and stuff, like trying to sort out where they're going with the series.
The second series
like,
going,
yeah.
And of course, Naruto is in manga form come to its.
Yeah, I was going to
Ultimate-
mention that as well. I still haven't finished it, but
You got to catch up because I've been watching.
I the other day. I started reading it again.
Because I'm a terrible person, I don't follow the manga. I just watch the anime.
Yeah,
But that in itself is awesome, and they've picked a really awesome theme song to finish on.
yeah.
There's been a lot of shit theme songs.
Everybody stand up! Everybody stand up!
Yeah, exactly. No, this like final one is called Silhouettes, and it's actually awesome, and I love it. And me and James know the words because we're cool, even though it's in Japanese. I play it a lot because it's just a really catchy song.
Yeah.
So me and James can sing along with it mostly.
I have a 8-bit sound Attack on Titan theme song on my phone. It's really good.
I still have the Attack on Titan theme as my ringtone. So,
Yeah,
but
not this one. It's better.
Mine's in English.
Just because it's 8-bit doesn't mean it's better.
Of course it does.
The
No,
internet seems to think that.
that's how it works. Yeah, no, I guess, but not watching lots of bits and pieces, and of course watched a bunch of obscure shows on Netflix and things to try and occupy.
Fill the void of not great games.
With no games to fucking play. Thanks, games industry. Oh,
It has
I
been a
did
bit of a
move at one
pants
point.
year.
That happened this year.
Is that this year? Okay.
I moved into a flat in April.
At the age of 25, you moved
Age of
into
25.
your first place.
I fuck it. To be fair, I did have what some might consider an anchor.
I have a child. That's what every week I talk to Dom. That's what he says to me
That's true.
in that voice.
In that exact way.
It's like, hey Dom, do you want to come to the podcast? I have a child.
I'm just not saying that to you now.
Do you want to just break his year down into that then?
Yeah.
What's the last year of your life? The child. And sound like Sylvester Stallone, apparently. You might need to subtitle that bit.
Weeble above. Weeble. Mum.
Bye.
Oh no, the internet's happening. Fucking tangent. Yeah, no,
Is that it?
I guess if we're gonna keep it quick, apparently.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Played
You just
played what
tailing
video
off
games
really
there were.
fast now.
I know. Played what video games there were to play. Got a flat. Bought an Xbox. May or may not have sired more children. I don't know.
Sired more children.
Probably not. But there's a chance.
I may have knighted some children.
I do believe my seed may have spilled.
Happens, right?
Sproglings appeared.
Accidents happen.
Mistakes were
So what
made.
happens when you start coming out of your window?
I shut my eyes and hope for the best.
Is that what you
While
just
driving.
You don't actually have sex. You do like a human version of pollination because that lands on the postman. The postman then goes to someone
Well,
else's
that's what
house.
fish
that
do.
manages to fall on something. That's what plants do.
No, fish just like they just lay their like
let it loose
egg,
into the water.
egg in the water, and then a male comes along and sperms in the water.
Egg, sperm.
And fish babies are made.
Yeah.
Who's the daddy? I don't know.
So whoever just
Who's the
came along
mother?
just
No idea.
One of the gazillion fish in the sea.
That's what Dom does.
That's what Dom does.
He just drives around in his car.
Out of a window.
That's how I spawn.
Whoever wants it's there.
Just open people's front doors.
Through the letterbox.
Oh, and I grew an awesome beard. That's my year.
Okay.
Okay, we went there. You were clutching at so many straws that you actually picked that out.
He had to start clutching at hairs instead.
Oh! Now that's splitting hairs.
Oh.
These guys.
Shit puns.
Joshua
Well,
Woodbury.
Joshua Woodbury.
Yes.
I feel like I need to affect a different voice for that name. Well, it's been a very boring year for gaming this year. Not much has been released, and I've mostly been replaying old games. I'm not doing that for the rest of the year.
Damn it. I was enjoying that
Are
voice.
you enjoying his voice? I'm not going to do that for the rest of the year. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I actually didn't the whole year of 2015.
For the rest of 2015. New year, new me. This is Joshua Woodbury. Reporting live
I'm
from
changing my
Carl's
name
spare
and
room.
voice this year.
That's what people mean. New year, new me.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'll be gay this year.
That's what I was saying this to Liz. Wouldn't it be awesome
opposed
if you were like the Doctor and each year you just changed, like not necessarily face or anything, but your whole personality, like
You have a regeneration of personality.
you change, yeah. So it's like
That'd be awesome.
this year I'm gay. Like,
Oh, damn it, this year I'm a racist.
Well, that's what I made. I
was talking to you about this actually,
Yeah,
wasn't I?
you
Yeah,
were.
yeah, it wasn't this. Yeah.
I said this to Carl yesterday. He texted me and asked me about coming along to this, and I just kept telling him to fuck off. He said, "What?" I was like, "Well, it's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to be 10 times the 10 times the twat I was last year or something."
10 times the arsehole.
I was
So
like,
I said
10 times the arsehole I was last year, and he texted me back and said, "Well, that's fine. I want to have 10 times the arseholes this year."
That's going to
Like,
be...
wait, you're going to have 10 times as many arseholes?
That's going to be
Just
difficult.
my whole
I mean, you're
back.
already a colossal arsehole.
Exactly.
Are you sure you're going to be able to keep this one up?
I'm just going to have to be so much.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Saw it here live.
watch your back, or I'll fuck with your pair.
My pear.
hair, not pear.
Oh, how do you know I've got a pear?
Stay away from my pear.
And my lime, in case you get any funny ideas.
Or your lemon.
Anyway, it's been mostly playing older games and a lot of indie games actually. A lot of
You haven't you?
whereas the the AAA market hasn't been releasing many good games. I've been playing a lot of indie games on Steam or up and coming development team games, which would be good, such as
That was a good thing that popped up. I mean, like indie scene's been big for quite a few years. Maybe it's just because I paid more attention this year.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it got...
Well, I think if you go on Steam
good
a lot
stuff,
more,
yeah.
it does make you pay... Because you see something and think, that looks pretty good, actually, and you realise that it's been published by an indie developer.
Goat
And
Simulator.
Think, oh, actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
So,
that happened this year.
Yep. But obviously, during around October time or mid-August was a period where I just played Five Nights at Freddy's constantly.
Yeah.
Amongst other games,
game.
but mostly that game. And then the second one came out 3 months later. So I was like, okay, double the fun. And the third one's been announced. So
Yeah, they're churning those out too fast now.
it's because they're simple to make.
No, it's because it's while they're popular, they're going to make as much of it as they can.
It's like one
fair.
guy, Scott Cawthorne.
All right, he is going to make.
I
as much
thought
as he
fair
can.
enough. Second one came out quite fast, and then I saw the third one. I was like, no.
But I don't think he'll make any more after the third one because that's
Maybe
pretty much
not.
it. Well, the story that you get from playing it leads up to the third one being like,
Like there's a story.
there is a story. You've just been sitting there going, "Don't scare me, don't scare me." I don't know.
There is quite the hidden lore of that game.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
quite-
You have to
the
look
weird
for it.
purple bear hippopotamus thing is going to get me.
Bearpotamus.
The bearpotamus is going to eat me.
Bonnie the bearpotamus. If actually, when it comes to games that I've actually enjoyed that have been AAA games, has been the last quarter of this year in which I've actually picked any up, and two of those, well, one of those, sorry, was a game from Xbox One release. So
Yeah.
so
was
not much. No, that was Dead Rising 3. But
Zombies.
oh no, we're not on the zombie.
Very
bandwagon.
observant, Dom.
Zombies, damn. I haven't covered wars.
Audible
Damn.
sigh.
Cock off, zombies are awesome. Better than vampires. Especially modern vampires.
Sparkly vampires.
Sparkly gay vampires. That
Shout out
twinkle
to
in-
Demi at work.
that's-
Go on. She's a sparkly vampire.
No, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much done. You.
Well, my
Happy guys.
year has
So,
been...
Carl Lipspoon. Affect a different voice now.
It's the same one. Lipspoon, as I've always been called that.
Fine, Carl
Or
Seacombe.
Lipscum.
Carl Seacombe.
Well, hello. My name is Carl Seacon, and I am here to tell you about my year in gaming.
Why are you Liverpudlian?
Carl Seacombe doesn't have many friends.
This year has been...
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. There's all those big things. Titanfall promised loads. I actually really enjoyed it, but it was
Flash in the pan.
it was a bit of a flashback. I denied it at
Mech
the
Warrior
time, and
means
then
Call
like
of
kind of
Duty.
look at it.
I knew it was going to be like I didn't want it to be, but I knew it
Titanfall
was
2, I think, will do really well, do good and be good. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of like pretty much new IPs that were like, we have a lot promising about us, but we don't quite make it all the way. And next time we'll do much better for you. So, and that was pretty much every new IP I think that came out this year. So you got Titanfall, Watch Dogs, Destiny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's it. But
I thought you really liked Destiny.
I love Destiny, but it
But-
doesn't quite go all the way. It's still just like.
It's what I kept saying about. I said about Titanfall before that came out. Is like everyone was making a big deal of it and loving it, but I was worried that it was going to last a week and everyone go novelty's worn off, next thing. And the same with Destiny. It's either going to like just take off and take over the fucking world, or everyone's going to play it for a week and a half and sort of get to the point and they go, I'll come back to it.
Well, I think with Destiny it was more some and some. I mean, I played it for, I think, 3 days. Not non-stop, but I played it a total worth. The disc was in my console for 3 days, and I thought, I'm level 14. I'm kind of done with it.
I think
I'm over it.
they said about like before it came out, they were like, "Oh, it's all about the end game. You have to do the end game," and that is true. But you also have to be the right type of person to play that. They didn't advertise it very well.
Isn't that true about most games, though? It's like, this game's got a story, it's all about the end game. Well, clearly, because that closes the story. Clearly, I'm going to start it and think, this story's interesting. But
it's a new kind of game where you've got to play it to the end and finish it. Oh, really?
No, but I mean,
the reward is right at the end.
Then you reach the climax and culmination of the whole story.
once you finish the story in the game, then it actually then it's the actual game that you're playing. It's two different games.
Destiny didn't have a story.
Well, yeah, but I mean the campaign mode or whatever the story
Dinklebot
missions.
says some funny things.
Did you say Dinklebot?
Dinklebot.
Dinklebot. Is that Dinklebot?
I thought-
Voldemort and Dinklage.
I thought I made that up, but apparently everybody else did as well.
What,
Although it's not
Dinklebot?
particularly
Yeah.
hard to come up with. He's Peter Dinklage and he's a robot, so he's Dinklebot. Except it turns out that now every single podcast or YouTube video I watch, somebody refers to him as Dinklebot. So I guess I did make it up. Or it wasn't too difficult to come up with.
A lot of people say my name. Peter Dinklage is a robot. Peter Dinklage bot. No, that's too long.
Road Dinklage. Roadledge.
Robot Dinklage. No. Dinklebot. Got it.
Dinklage bot, Dinklebot.
It's pretty much Tyrion Lannister android.
Only reason to watch that show.
Yeah, as I said earlier,
You're wrong, but we're not going to go into it.
This year was the biggest thing that happened to me in my year didn't infect me.
You had a baby?
No, Naruto finishing.
Yeah.
That was probably in everything that I'm interested in, that's probably the biggest event, because I've been like a fan of that for a very long time.
As have I.
And and I just happened to stop reading it, and I kind of forgot about it.
It's all about the end game.
It's
all about the end game.
Naruto got so amazing, and then I moved and didn't have internet for a while, and I just kind of fell out of the habit of reading it. And then it wasn't till like 2-3 months later until I was like, oh shit, I haven't read Naruto in ages. And apparently it went on a bit of a break for a bit though that I missed. So it's not one bad thing, but I was then I kept putting it off until like I was like, well, I'll read it and talk about it on the podcast. And then it finished, and I was like, well, I'm definitely going to just read it all in one and then talk about it on the podcast one week. But there just never seemed to be a time that I could. I wanted to theme it with other stuff, and there was just never time, so I never bothered reading it. But now I've just started reading it again, and I haven't actually got to anything new because I'm having to obviously catch up because I can't fucking remember what was going on.
Apparently, even though I've never actually read it, something I did read online about it, that when it was coming to an end, that would have bugged the shit out of me, even though I didn't read it and probably never would get round to because there's just so much of it. Was the I guess chapter it was going to finish on, or would have finished on, or whatever it is. Which apparently they managed to work it out, so it's still finished on.
They released a double chapter at the end.
Yeah, so people worked it out forward, and they'd given like the final date or whatever it was of when the last ever Naruto would come out, and they worked out that it would be chapter, I guess, 699 or something like that. I was like, no, fuck you can't finish on 699. That's bullshit. Just get to 700. But yeah, apparently...
I think 699 was like the culmination, and then 700 was the after.
It was like a wrap up.
Yeah,
sort of.
I think. I mean,
it was Goku's great grandkids who, for whatever makes no sense reason, don't know what a Saiyan is, fighting at the fucking arena thing in the end of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Fuck episode. Makes me angry. It made no sense for none of them to know what it was.
Yeah.
Major rage.
Other things was Robot Punch. Really, I want to talk about that for a bit because
what's that?
As I say, it was a year of failing for games. I also kind of feel like it was a year of failing with Robot Punch in a way.
You definitely failed us.
Just like
if we just get your attendance card out.
Fuck you.
The thing was, I was unemployed for 9 months of this year.
The hell do you think I'm here?
Like the entirety of 2014, I only worked for 4 months of it. No, 3 months. Sorry, 3 months.
Yeah, some of us had a real job,
and it kind of
whoa.
I kind in that time, I kind of like you think. Oh, I got so much time off. I could really work hard on Robot Punch, but it kind of did the complete opposite.
How do you think I feel? I had 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years where all I did was sit at home and raise my child. Think of those 4 years.
Jesus,
I could have
what a drag.
But that's the thing, like I try to point this out to the child all the time when he moans about, oh, I don't want to go to school, I want to stay home and play video games all day. It's like, you have no idea, as fun as that sounds, how boring that is. For four straight years, I was unemployed. So I was either with James, or he was at school, and I did nothing. I could have mastered like 17 instruments, learned 12 languages. Think of all the fucking things I could have learned, and instead I sat around and played video games and just killed off what little brain cells I had left.
Yeah.
It's the most painful thing.
That's pretty much what... I didn't even play video games most of the time because I felt guilty about spending my daytime playing video games, so I was like, put them off until the evening. So I'd always be like, right, I'm going to go do something today, and then I'd have Facebook open, and I'd just be like, no, I'd click on Facebook quickly, just have a look. All right, well, fuck it, there's some boring group I'm on. Right, I'll talk on here. I'll go over, oh wait, I've got a reply. Okay, oh wait, I've got another reply, because I've commented on every fucking thing.
Yep.
Like, look at all the friends I have. Help!
Yeah, it was to the point that I was just pissed off with people commenting on my stuff, but it was my fault for fucking commenting on the stuff. And I could have just turned off notifications, but no, I was always just like, it was a habit of just like, almost wanting to be annoyed at that. And it was like purposely finding a distraction.
You filled your day with being annoyed.
Yeah, it was like purposely finding a distraction. So like I would comment on it knowing that I would get a comment back. So once I went back to whatever I was going to do, it would drag me away again.
So
that was every day pretty much for 9 months. Like I did that.
I still can't properly settle on a video game at the moment because I just like that long stretch of doing basically nothing but doing it.
Yeah,
it's still taking a lot. I mean, I think other than like the new WoW thing coming out, which again we'll obviously talk about later on, and I think Black Flag is the only game I think I've played start to finish and actually like properly
was worth your
completed.
time.
Yeah.
It was absolutely worth my time. Black Flag was a phenomenal game, and it's the best one I've played since 2.
Do play Roggy.
But I've got it. It's been sitting on my shelf for like 2 months.
Play it.
I can't focus enough because I'm still in that mentality. It was just like, fuck video games. But I don't do anything else either. I just waste hours.
The biggest problem I found with working is that all through the day at work, I'd have ideas for either my study or just ideas in general for doodling and drawing and characters and stuff like that for game concepts, or I'd fill it with, I'm going to do this when I get home, or I'm going to game this, I really fancy playing this. As soon as I get home, I sit down for 5 minutes to think, I'll just have a drink or a smoke and just relax. And then I think, I can't be bothered to load it up.
Yeah.
I'm so tired, I can't even bother to click on an icon and be like, now I can do it.
The amount of evenings I've wasted where I've come home from work, like especially when I've not got the child, which is the worst of all, is when I've not got the child.
Yeah.
I'm free, I'll sit on the sofa, I'll put something on quickly to watch, or I'll put on a YouTube video, or I'll put on an episode of something.
And you'll be on it for the
and
evening.
I'm just done, and I'll fall asleep on the sofa and wake up 4 in the morning. I thought, well, it's too late to fucking play anything now, you know.
I've done that with YouTube before. You literally think, someone
hours.
like someone I've subscribed to, like another YouTube, or like, you know, I'll watch this for a bit. Usually I'll save this for when I go to bed, where I watch films or TV series, or even YouTubers just doing their thing.
Yeah.
And then there's been times where you think, well, I've bought some beer, I'll crack that open after a long day's work. Oh, Markiplier's uploaded something. Oh, Game Grumps have done something. And you just sit there like, oh my God, these are my friends. These people are my friends.
The hours you lose in YouTube is
Well,
shocking.
that's one of the things. Now, after I'm going to try and I'm getting the act together, I'm going to try and kick Robot Punch into a new gear with this new year.
Would you say, Carl, that it's a new year, so it's going to be a new Robot Punch?
Yes. I outright actually will
Robot Punch is getting an
attempt
upgrade.
to say that. And I'm going to do a lot. I'm wanting to do a lot of new
It's going to become a mech punch.
Let's Play stuff.
This is Robot 2.0
I'm
Punch.
planning on doing a lot more YouTube stuff. I'm going to try and get stuff going with other members of Robot Punch. Get just kind of movement in the whole of the group,
Let's Plays
so we
is
actually
definitely-
get
we've
more
talked
into
about
it.
Let's
Yeah.
Plays, and that's
We're
something.
talking
Well,
about
yeah.
that,
Well,
since
I've-
basically since we started.
I've got some recorded now, but I need to edit them, put them together, and then and get other stuff. But I need enough of a backlog, and then
I've recorded some bits as well for long plays of this War of mine. I started doing a Lone Survivor version of that. So
yeah,
Well, I think, as I say,
I just need a better mic.
yeah.
I think if we start doing stuff, it's all well and good us doing individual Let's Plays, because there's millions of those. I think we need to start doing it as a group.
Yeah.
I
as well.
hate watching
Oh, yeah.
single player Let's Plays. I don't watch any, but groups of people, like Rooster Teeth, like Yogscast, like there's different, like Node. I love watching them because it's people together and it's funny and they're a group and it's
You get the sort of the banter between them,
Yeah.
or reacting to something together.
exactly, and it's lively and enjoyable. I can't sit and watch one person just play a game because it's like, well, I could just
Well,
sit and play the
it
game.
depends
and
on what
talk to
their
myself.
appeal is. If they actually make me laugh, then that's half the reason I watch it. Not only to learn about the game, but also
I bet you like PewDiePie.
No, of course not.
I think-
We've been over this. You know I don't.
I think a lot of the thing is that I do think we want to plan to do group ones and group things, like try and keep most of stuff together as a group. We can do individual things, but it's still going to be part of the group at a large
It's still
as well.
It's still going to go back to Robot Punch.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's stuff that we'll hopefully get going in this year. I can't 100% promise anything because I can't 100% promise anything ever. But we're trying to do something. Anyway, I think now Dom's just gassed out the room with his burp. Apparently, we're going to take a quick break and be back with our Game of the Year stuff. So, see you in a moment.
Bye.
Fruity.
Hello and welcome to the Robot Punch Gaming Podcast.
It is January the 4th, 2015.
Oh look, he's in it in one take, Carl. One time.
That's because he heard me. He copied.
That's right.
Yeah, but I didn't know the date until you said it.
No. So we're back. We're going to talk about the Game of the Year stuff now. How exciting is that? Yeah.
Yay!
Dom, do you want to start with your... Sorry. Dom, do you want to start with your... Right, so the categories, are... Oh, we forgot to do the most disappointing moment in gaming as well. So, your most disappointing moment in gaming
I was disappointed.
of the 2014s. Your... don't say no. I'm giving you the categories.
It's got the list. Why don't we just do like each category?
Oh,
and then we can
what
discuss-
each? Yeah, okay, fine. We do it that way.
Collectively discuss
Yeah,
our-
yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
What up? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
What's happening? What's in
up?
the hood block? What's crackling?
That's crack-a-lacking.
Yeah, so Dom, you start. Most disappointing moment in gaming.
I was disappointed that Titanfall became everything I expected it to be, which was a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I wanted Titanfall to be good, and it wasn't. It was good. It
just wasn't enough.
It was a flash in the pan.
I don't know.
Clusterfuck.
Apparently, the stuff they've added to it's really good, but I haven't played it in a very long time.
Exactly. No, it was.
Even though I still have the disc.
I sort of knew it was going to last all of about a week, but I didn't want it to, and it still did, and it was really clusterfucky, whereas I was hoping it wasn't going to be clusterfucky. And again, I wanted there to actually be sort of like a single-player campaign and everything,
Yeah.
but it was just an online game. I think it's going to be good groundwork for future games, but I didn't want it to be just groundwork. I wanted it to be a good standalone game.
Yeah.
And I was just disappointed that it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Joshua.
I can't really think of a most disappointing gaming because I'm just full of disappointment all the time. There's no one moment. I think, to be honest, I'm going to put the whole year as a write-off, as it was just a disappointing year for video gaming in general. It wasn't. It was the last quarter kind of tried to win it back, but for me personally, I mean, it might be different to everyone else, but for me personally, 2014 was just not a good year for gaming. And that was the disappointing thing for me.
My most disappointing moment in gaming was kind of a similar thing. It wasn't necessarily a game. I mean, there was disappointing things in games. Destiny disappointed me, even though I loved it. It was one of my favourite games. Watch Dogs disappointed me, even though I loved it. Titanfall disappointed me, even though I loved it. I loved all this stuff. It's just that they weren't as high as...
They weren't as good as they should have been.
Yeah. But my actual thing is more of the industry and the people around it. The Gamergate is probably my most disappointing moment, as well as Lizard Squad.
I was hoping you weren't going to mention them.
And the people talking about them actually.
Yeah, give them the time of day. Moving on.
Is that people still strive to give them attention.
To summarise it, they're a bunch of cunts and they can burn in hell. Next.
Yeah, and also how easily how fast people are just willing to believe anything. Like there was like 4 or 5 different fucking Twitter accounts, all like claiming stuff, and people are like, oh yeah, this is true. It's like anyone can fucking post something.
Well, there was a lot of people there was a lot of people blaming, and then a lot of people that were doing it that were claiming that they basically brought the whole like fucking other side of it, like anonymous. Like initially there was like, oh, it's Anonymous that's doing it, and Anonymous was like, fuck you, we haven't done any of this.
Yeah.
And there was lots of, again, fake things that were doing it. They were like, yeah, no, it's us, Anonymous. We're the bad guys. Fucking take us down. Like, yeah.
It was.
I don't think that was Anonymous's original message. I thought their original message was to actually be the
good guys,
the internet vigilante.
Yeah.
So if anything, they should be doing something.
Which is what like.
It's because people don't understand it.
Yeah.
If you understand it, you take your idea of Anonymous on the internet via V for Vendetta, and you watch that film, and you understand what that works for, and you try and placate or put it into that. Rather than think, oh, we're just a bunch of wankers. Not that I agree with any of this, but if there's gonna be someone online or a group online that does something, at least do it.
We should go on the deep web and join Anonymous. Let's go on the deep web.
We have to buy masks.
No, yes,
you can just use your face.
Oh.
You can.
I'm sure they won't find you.
Just Photoshop the mask on your face.
just fucking sprite it on. Just
on a video. On a video. So you
just follows your face around.
So that and Gamergate. So it's mostly it wasn't the industry itself or the games. It was the people,
the shit that throws shit at.
I don't know, the communities kind of. Gamergate. I understand there were some good principles, but a lot of the people doing it is the vocal minority. It probably is the case, but a lot of them were
always a
fucking
vocal minority.
assholes and
Bum
twats.
Well, it's all the things that has led up to that. For example, the huge amount of extremist feminism towards gaming, in which it's like this was never a problem in the first place. Yes, it's good that girls are part of the gaming community. There should be no difference between a male gamer and a female gamer. But understand that back when the video games first started to come out, it was mostly a male-populated community because it was mostly males that played them. Therefore, it's going to be slightly biased, or not biased, but slightly from a certain point of view.
I just don't like the fact that people still want it to be that way.
Well, I don't
No. It shouldn't. It should be open and fine,
but
you shouldn't take it to policing it the complete extreme. Like, oh, well, this video game has violence to women in it, yes, but it also has huge amounts of violence to men as well. It's called equality. We all have violence done to us, or we all have good things happen to us. It can't be one or the other. It's both, and it always is both.
Yeah.
No, I think the only thing, like, as far as gaming's related, that sort of I don't pay much attention to all this. Like, I know femininity has been a thing this year. Everyone's been it's just an excuse to complain. That's all anything ever really is an excuse to complain. Same as being offended. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm surprised these people, but most of these people are American, and I'm surprised because usually it's British people. It's us that complain about everything. We do like to complain.
The only one that really got me was when everyone was bitching that in the apparently disappointing, actually only a small chunk of the game, Assassin's Creed Unity. You've managed 4 whole characters, none of them are women. So. Yes, I'm sure they could make a woman. I mean, Liberation wasn't the main character in that.
The thing that annoyed me about that was I do want to play as a female assassin. I want one, and when it was like some 3 characters that didn't really mean anything, that was like the perfect chance for them to chuck in a female assassin so you could play as online. But then it turns out it's even more dumb and convoluted. The fact that it's just all the same person.
Yeah, exactly. It's just clones of the same.
If they'd said that straight off, then it would have.
But it does make sense.
That.
To a degree, if you play the storyline, it's the fact that you are again. I know you can do wibbly wobbly hands animus, but it is you're playing a game. You're playing a game within a game. Yeah, I know, but that is
the Unity storyline's not necessarily bad, but
that is the storyline.
The concept is a bit shit.
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't have any flaw. Yeah, it would have been nice to see something else, but it does. It's plot wise, it's sound.
Yeah,
you just don't like the plot.
Yeah. It's
not like it doesn't make any sense. It does make sense, but you just don't like the outcome of it.
It's just dumb. It's just bad.
See, that's fair enough.
And I think it would have been more fun to have, because it wasn't like Ezio or someone, Ezio from the first game, where you were like the only assassin. There was a group of assassins, and they could have just had some other assassins. I know you said everyone has to be explained, and fair enough, they could have, but they've had games where there have been other assassins in the game, and they could have put it in the story.
Well,
they wouldn't have had to be big characters
in Brotherhood and Revelations, when they did the whole the tower defense thing, which was pointless, but also you had your you recruited assassins that you then send off to do daily quests. You could get as many women as you liked.
Yeah. All right, well, this is the second week we've talked about Assassin's Creed and this same thing.
Yeah.
So,
next.
Yeah. Next category is most impression. Was that
game that had the most impact on you, or
you
feel had the most impact on the or on the industry?
Yeah. Or the community, I guess.
Well, community, industry, or yourself personally. What do you think had the biggest impact, or was a game changer?
There weren't any game changers really. I mean, Destiny, for what it's again. I mean,
for what it's doing, maybe it might have not fully achieved, but
it's trying to bridge that gap.
What it's attempting to do.
Yeah.
I think Destiny easily, because the only other console-based MMORPG was Defiance, and as much as that game was fantastic.
There's Final Fantasy 15 now as well.
When are they going to stop?
That was. I think that's only on PlayStation though. But
you can't really call it Final Fantasy now.
Final Fantasy 412.
Final, but
continual.
penultimate fantasy. But not really. There'll be plenty more. First fantasy.
One of the fantasies.
Adolescent fantasy. Questionable duvet fantasy in the morning.
Sticky dude? No.
It's just a phase fantasy.
Well, it is anime.
So, yours then?
What, most
Woodbury?
impacting? Woodbury. Yes. Joshua Woodbury believes. I can't actually think of one that much. Maybe that had the biggest impact on me. And again, it wasn't even this year, but I played it this year, so I'm going to go with it this year. Was just the story for BioShock Infinite. It was the first game in a while that I've played where I actually was very immersed in it and connected to the characters. In sort of felt bad for their struggle or what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And I know, again, it's not this year, but I played it this year, and I can't think of anything comparable that came out this year that I've played personally.
Yeah, that story was really good. I really enjoyed that story, and it did a lot of stuff that isn't overly done in games. It might be done a lot in TV stuff, but it did it in a nice way as well, and it was done very well. And a way, even though I knew parts of it, I didn't really I didn't see a lot of it coming until...
I didn't see it. I didn't see any of it coming. I had no spoilers for it, so...
Well, I knew there was... All I say is I knew there was parallel universe stuff.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Liz still doesn't, I think, and was meant to be playing it about a year ago, but yeah.
But maybe impact on the community. Actually, no, I'm drawing a blank on that. I can't think, because I haven't seen... Again, there hasn't been that much that I've seen personally.
When did Pokemon X and Y come out?
Last year.
Damn.
That I've seen. That again, it might have. It's most likely happened outside.
You can say that if you want as well.
But I can't think of anything off the top of my head that really stood out and said, "Oh, this changes everything." I mean, I guess it's been around for a while, but you know, Steam Greenlight is still good and bad. It's flawed as well as. But it's the fact that it lets you the player or the voter to actually choose what you might like to see, and if you think that's a bad idea,
I don't really understand what Greenlight is, and now with early access stuff as well, I'm even more confused about Greenlight.
Greenlighting is a developer or a publisher will bring their game forward to Steam and say, we've made this, or we've got ideas for this, we're building it. What do you think? So it'll go through Steam, and Valve employees will check it and say, actually, yeah, we quite like this. We'll put it on Greenlight. So we like it. Will other people like it? So it then goes on Greenlight, and basically users and players can then can look at it. It gets its own Steam page, and they get to look at it and think, oh, this looks interesting. I'd back that, or I think that should be made or released. Or, you know, say no and say, no, this is an awful idea, it's copying this, it's doing this, we don't want it. And then Steam will go, well, majority vote says they don't want it, so we're not going to. Yeah, which it gives the community a lot of power. Not always good, because the community doesn't always know what they want. It's the same with people. People don't know what they want half the time. Yeah. So giving people an option, as much as it is a democracy, giving people everyone an option, the same as allowing everyone to have an opinion is. Yeah, you're allowed an opinion, but it doesn't always need to be voiced.
I heard an interesting thing. I won't go too far into this. I heard an interesting thing yesterday that more option means less freedom. Just because once there's more option, then you actually start to back away. There's a thing where if a company has like an insurance policy, like obviously it's an American thing. If a company has like a life insurance policy that comes with the company, if you have 50 options or 5 options, then I can't remember the exact figures, but it's a massive amount more people will go for it if it has 5 options rather than 50. If it has
too much choice.
Yeah, there's too much choice, and people will just be like, well, it's too much work to look at it, I'll look at it another time. And and apparently, like they say, it's a big thing with food shopping as well. Like there's too much choice of what you want, so you just end up going, I don't know what I want, I'll just walk away. I've been in shopping centres, like I don't think we have as much choice as America does. There was like one point the guy was saying there's 40 different salad dressings. We don't have 40 different salad dressings in England.
Americans have salad?
It still happens. I still there's too much stuff in there, and I'm just like, I don't know what I want.
That's the sorry state of affairs, though, when you've got so much choice and other places don't have any choice.
Yeah. First world problems.
Yeah, right.
You can't pick what to eat. There's too much food.
Damn it! Now I'm depressed and have to see my therapist. But which therapist should I go to? They're all very good.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff that goes into it, but I'm not going to turn this podcast into talking about that for ages. But it was quite an interesting thing.
What was the thing that had the most impact on you, or was a game changer?
I have 2 that I'm going to mention.
Not greedy.
Yeah.
Well, we came up with such brilliant ones, didn't we?
Shadow of Mordor I thought was really good, but the main thing about it is the Nemesis mode and all their systems they have in it, which I think really work well. And I said this to Josh before we started the podcast. Obviously, it has quite a lot of the Batman combat, and the thing is, the Batman combat really made a big impression on the industry. Really changed a lot of stuff. A lot of games started to follow that, and this is something that they very freshly came up with the Nemesis system, and I think that needs to be incorporated into a lot more games. I really enjoyed a lot of that stuff, and I think it needs to be more incorporated into like a lot of multiplayer games as well. I think that'd be quite fun, even like MMOs.
Yeah,
it might not necessarily go so well into a MMO, but if it's more like, I don't know, like a smaller kind of thing like Destiny is, where it's not full blown MMO, then it could work quite well. But yeah, that's something that I'd like to see in a lot more games. And then saying Destiny, that's my other one. Pretty much the same as Dom said, that I just think a lot of the stuff that it's doing, and at least trying to do, is very good, and that's going to be a lot of the future. I mean, there's already like Division is already coming out as well, and that's very similar in a lot of, not obviously lore, story, but the gameplay MMO stuff is in Division quite heavily, and they both seem quite similar in the way they're doing stuff with that, and I think that's really, it's not the future of all gaming, and it really, really shouldn't be. They really need to keep with single player games. Still need to have single player, and I really like multiplayer in some games, and I think it works in games that are the majority single player. But they do need to.
You want to have the option, don't you?
Yeah, they do need to just have games that work for single player, and if someone puts in a multiplayer, then they put in a multiplayer.
Titanfall needed to have some kind of something.
Yeah. Well, but like the most surprising thing is like Wolfenstein, first person shooter, was highly rated by a lot of people. No multiplayer at all in that, and for a first person shooter, that's like probably the first one in like 5-6 years or so that hasn't had
everyone
any
chucks
multiplayer.
in a multiplayer now, even if it's a hastily
like the fucking
one.
Tomb Raider. The new.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, the new. I mean, that game was fantastic. Obviously, it doesn't count for this year, but the Tomb Raider.
I keep hearing a lot about it. Yeah,
it's really fucking good.
I loved that game. That's so.
But they stuck a multiplayer on it. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't any good. But they put it there because everything needs, like, the mentality is, you have to have multiplayer.
Well,
yeah.
What I like with single
you
player,
don't.
like you were, with Shadow of Mordor, for example, which we spoke about it before, which is why I didn't really pick it out for my impact box. I knew you were going to talk.
I thought
about
that might have been why.
Yeah.
When
we
you were
talked about
saying,
it really
like,
passionately before, but no, nothing special about. If anything, to go back, I'd say actually this war of mine this year made me feel like a complete bastard for my decisions. I've only just remembered it.
Yeah,
but I've spoken about that on previous podcasts.
From what you said before, that works perfectly for your most impressionable thing. Really.
Yeah,
like,
I take it back.
good.
I'll go for that.
Yeah,
I just wasn't thinking. But
Rejected.
when it comes to saying about giving the option for single player and multiplayer, I don't mind if single player has multiplayer elements, or I get the choice. Like with Shadow of Mordor, when you're playing, it's obviously online, but it's not a multiplayer game. But you have the aspects where you'll come across a mission like avenge a friend who was killed by this guy, and you think, I'm getting involved in this guy's game because I'm seeing who killed the exact character who killed him.
Yeah.
And I can say, well, you killed my friend.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense story-wise, but it's cool that it's in there.
It's
and that's
a nice
why I'm
touch.
saying, like, with multiplayer stuff, that would actually make sense and there'd be a point and reason to it.
So, I'm looking at it it's like he comes up to this person killed this many of your friends. Like, ha! You idiot got killed by this guy. Now I have to kill him, otherwise I'm going to be really embarrassed.
Well, again, it doesn't matter how powerful they are. If you get swamped by the fucking orcs, you're going to get
Oh
swamped
my
and
god,
killed.
if you get a fucking shit ton
that's
of
the
captain...
one thing that pissed me off about that game was the fact that you
Carragher.
cannot perform, like, even if you're halfway through an execution or something, if one little fucking goblin thing bumps you, then the whole thing's thrown off and you just carry on getting stabbed to death. No,
the
fuck
most
you.
annoying thing is that you'll be in a fight and you'll slightly drift left and, another fucking captain. And then you slightly drift left. A fucking another captain. And I've had like 6 captains on me. And
that
it's
wouldn't
like,
be a problem if they
off.
couldn't interrupt your sort of executions, basically.
Yeah.
But then it would,
If
it would make it too easy, because every time you could just literally just
You knock
grab
them down,
everyone,
go-
brand him, brand him, brand him, brand
I mean,
him.
I brand people fucking all the time now anyway. That's
Well, you can
what
do it in
I fucking
combat.
do.
I think
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
if
combat
they
brand.
like if it was a big hit, like obviously you could do your just sort of like tap X move, or if they did, maybe you could only be interrupted if they did like a big hit sort of thing.
Well, the bottom line is you're meant to try and clear as many of them as possible until you're sort of making
then they
them
should
run
be so
away.
fucking close together.
You do get the...
You are in a stronghold!
No, I've had it when I was in a completely empty area. There was there's one of the like going this captain's doing a mission things, and it was a wild hunt thing, and he was out in the middle of nowhere hunting some of the what caragors are they?
Yeah, caragors.
He was hunting some of them in the middle of nowhere. I got in front of him straight away. Once I went and attacked him, there was another captain just by
having
just
a piss
down,
on the wall.
yeah, just down a thing, back down the valley bit. And he was there, and there was that was the time when I found like 6 captains in this completely fucking middle of nowhere. I don't know what the fuck they were doing there. Like I think some of them might have been on a fucking date with each other.
You interrupted our date.
Yeah.
Fucking dogging. Or carrot.
But I went to when I
do like when you get multiple, just to cut you off. When you get multiple, because if you do manage to kill them all or convert them, you suddenly see this whole. Especially if you kill them, you look back at the Sauron's army, you see all these blips suddenly. Bop, 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 bop,
Yeah.
It's like fucking who? Guess who? Everyone suddenly falls down.
Is he ginger?
That's
Nope,
cool.
nope.
No. Does he have an eye missing? Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I started going once I get into, especially once I got into like doing war chiefs branding and like trying to like make armies and go to war chiefs and stuff. I started just trying to find captains or orcs that I thought looked funny. So there was one guy called like Mogul Brain Damaged, and I made him a war chief. And then there was like this other guy that was that was like raw face, and he didn't have a face. It was just like a skinless face, and I was like got so into trying to raise him up the ranks and make him into a war chief. And he died at some bit, and I was so upset, and I couldn't go back and get him. I tried like going back a save.
Have you found that you get characters where you've killed them and they come back because they've been patched up by the sawbones?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
When,
funny.
I had one where before I had like branding, I interrogated him, fucked him up, and he had a burn hand mark on his face.
Yeah,
and he spoke about it, and like,
they
said,
do
and
talk
it was
about it.
so cool.
I had one where I either cut his head off or exploded it. The Sawbones put his head back together, and he actually had like you saw everything. And it was like you thought you left me for dead, but I wasn't dead. It's like, your head was missing.
It's not like I've stabbed you a couple times.
I'm pretty sure you were dead.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I had one the same guy come back 4 times. And each time he's like, "You won't get me this time." I was like, "Well, I'm not." Let's just check the track record.
That's the thing that annoyed me about about multiple captains coming was because if you fucked up in that bit and you died, then all those captains went up a level.
Yeah.
And I had it where I kept having the same captains appear in the same like near each other, and I kept dying, and they were going up and up on levels and like raising really fast and high.
Fucking Twinkie.
And I was like, yeah, they were just beating the shit out of me. But there was something I was
That's
going
what
to say.
that's called,
then.
isn't
I
it?
can't
When you
remember.
boost up a new player with a higher player character. What's it called?
Boosting.
Boosting. I swear it was called something else.
No, if someone has over gear that's overspec for their level or something, it's like a twink or
I
something.
swear it's called
Yeah.
twinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't Google that.
No. I
Yeah.
know what the
Something
porn
else
was.
as well.
I just didn't want to go on record. I'm like, yeah, it's complete twink.
Josh is all about twinking. He loves a good twink.
and then suddenly I've completely forgotten what the word means.
No, it was. I mean, that came out again back when sort of like, in WoW at least, became a thing. Sort of Burning Crusade time, where basically everybody would have their level 70, and then they'd use their level 70 to get a shit ton of gold and go and buy the highest level. Because basically, you got put in for the battlegrounds.
Yeah.
It was the max level you could be was whatever the 9 was. So it was 19, 29, 39, 49. So people would find the highest buy or get to the highest gear from dungeons and things that they could for their other characters. So
Yeah.
then they'd go in. So you'd be there as like a fresh-faced, new to World of Warcraft person. Yeah, I'm level 19. I'm going to join a battleground. See what that's like. And then you're getting raped by people in big, flashy, glowy, high-spec gear. And you're like, the fuck is this? Like, you didn't even get like a look at you. Literally, you wouldn't have time to blink before they raped you and actually kind of ruined. I never did I've not done PvP as a low-end character since Burning Crusade because it's not worth my time because I can't afford to be a twink.
Playing Ion, I saw quite a few people who were like, there's one of the early levels areas. There's a really high tower which has like all the merchant stuff on. And obviously, you can fly, so you can jump off, fly down.
There we go.
But like, but I kept seeing, and there's a spawn point up there as well. There's like spirit person there, and I kept seeing people just jumping off. And I spoke to this person. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why do you just keep killing yourself?" So it shaves off XP whenever you do it. Whenever you die, it shaves off a bit of XP. So it's like, I'm just keeping my level down so I don't get over level. So I assume it's probably a similar thing of like trying to stay in a certain level.
Well, it's that time of the week.
Yeah.
Back I go.
Gotta do the flop.
And he just kept spawning, just jumping off, just going boom, 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 over and over
Works.
again. I was like, that's fucking lame.
I hated Twix.
Why don't you just progress?
Right, so should we move on to
Next
our
category.
next? Not the last. I was about to say last one. It's not.
Yeah.
Actual game of the year.
That's not the final
So-
category.
No, we're
Most anticipated game
we
of
could do
this
most
year.
anticipated
Okay.
game of next year or 2015
Seeing
if you
as we're
want.
doing
And
Game
then
of the Year in 2015 now. For Game
we
of the
do
Year
yeah,
2014.
we do most anticipated game, and then we do game of the year.
I'd say
'cause
our game of last year should probably be like the final
yeah,
Okay.
thing.
most anticipated game of 2015.
Well, Gears of War, obviously.
They haven't said a date.
No, they haven't set a date. I'm just
I
worried
didn't know there
that
was another one coming.
Microsoft.
Yeah,
bought it,
they
now I'm
bought the
worried.
IP.
Oh, really?
They bought it basically in normal fashion. Epic Games are like, well, this has come to an ultimate culmination. We've done everything we want to, and we're happy. And this is where it should be left alone.
And Microsoft
And
like,
went, no, money, gimme.
Apparently, like
Oh, we're not done yet.
apparently Halo has a 30-year or something plan set out ahead of it now.
Like,
It's like
yeah.
that's longer than gaming's been around, pretty much.
Exactly.
Like-
Bungie are like, well, we've done everything we need to do, and this game could probably be left alone forever now. Microsoft, no, the money.
My precious.
Right.
All that IP.
We'll get onto the most anticipated game in a minute. We'll be back in just a second. So we're back and we're moving on to the most anticipated games of 2015. Starting off with Dom as he's frantically looking for his phone to try and find what he
there's a
wants
couple
to
good
talk
things.
about.
Tell me what I'm looking forward for.
Well, Dragon Ball.
IGN, tell me!
I'm actually on
What
game.
have you been paid for the most?
I'm actually on the game website, so you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, obviously.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And Evolve should be a laugh. No, I was going to say... I can't say Star Fox, even though I totally want to say Star Fox.
Why can't you say Star
Because
Fox?
I didn't know it was coming, so I wasn't anticipating it.
Well, you are now.
Now I am!
Yeah, so you know you can say it.
For fuck's sake, Keith.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Josh, if you're going to do that.
Get on with it.
I am... Splatoon. I mean, I'm not going to say Halo, because I know it's going to be cool. I guess... Yeah, I guess I'd probably put it between Division, because that looks like it could be good.
Mm.
Just because I'm anticipating. I want it to be... Again, it's going to be another case of games where I want them to be probably better than they're going to be.
Yeah, I don't know with that one, Nate. We'll find out.
Exactly, yeah. Could have. I'm anticipating it because it's got potential and it will probably
Yeah.
not live up to it.
You get the game. You see the game. You have no data on it. You build how it's going to be in your head.
Off, I think. There you go.
You build how it's going to be in your head. And then when you get it, you're like, well, it's not exactly what I thought it was be at all, even though it said it wasn't this.
No, I
I
mean, I'm
did
sure...
that as a kid.
I'm sure... I do it now! with video games.
Oh, Spider-Man, I'm going to be able to play as Venom in this one. What? I can't play as Venom? I'm livid.
Freddy's here.
Josh is fucking talking to us.
Here's Freddy.
Obviously Halo, but yeah, I think I'm optimistic again that the Division is going to be better than it's going to be, and new Tomb Raider because the last one was awesome. Well,
That
the most
was
recent one.
really good.
It was really fucking good game.
That was also JoJo's most anticipated game, or one of them. He had like a massive list of them.
Because it's so.
Did he just get his
Yeah.
phone?
He just listed off the games that are coming out next year.
I can't believe they're making another Homefront. Homefront was shit.
Yes, it was. I bought it. And
That was a train
I
wreck.
don't take
was
games back very
fine.
often, but I took that back.
Homefront
Shit,
was
and I bought
fine,
Mortal
I
Kombat
enjoyed.
instead.
Right, Josh, what's your most anticipated games?
For Pro Golf.
Oh, even better.
Stop ruining my slot. From the AAA market, I am looking forward to. Fuck off! That should be on silent. I'm looking forward to Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, but that's because I've
The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, Darth Maul's in it.
Yeah.
And
Means I think Snake has in trouble.
Jar Jar. I've always been a big fan of the Metal Gear series, and I'm looking forward to playing or seeing more of Big Boss's backstory because this is kind of the link between this and the original Metal Gear of when Big Boss was Big Bad Boss.
When he was relevant.
When he was, he still is now. Damn it! And it, ever since playing number 3, that just sort of built the extra love, not only for Solid Snake.
Couldn't
but
play
like-
number 3.
What?
Couldn't play number 3.
Why? You just found it too difficult.
No, it was just like, you're playing. You start the game, right? You're in this jungle, right? So I want to go over there, but I can't go over there because I'm really hungry. Right, so I've eaten. Right, you have to go over there, but sneakily, oh wait, you're hungry. Okay, I need to get over here. Oh, but you're hungry. And I was like,
Isn't that
just
similar to real
can't
life?
deal with this. Yeah,
That's similar
I
to me in
hate.
real life, dealing with needs. It's like, oh, I should go over there, but I'm really tired.
I hate.
Oh, I should go and
It
do
requires
this,
movement.
but I have no motivation. Damn it!
I
How do I
hate-
build my
I
motivation?
hate eating as it is. I wish I didn't have to eat in my life, and I don't want that in video
If only
games.
you were a vampire.
I can imagine Liz around the table. Come on, Carl, here comes the airplane. No! I won't! So there's that, but that's self-explanatory. I'm looking forward to that one. And the other one from the indie market is Hotline Miami 2. Because I like killing. I like splatter. Splatting. But what I loved about the first one so much as well is it points the finger at you, the player, because you've been given no direction from the start to go kill these people. No one says at any point, apart from in the training, how to kill people. It doesn't say you should or you need to go and do this. You're given cryptic phone calls saying, oh, when you can drop that pizza around from, blah, 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 to this street, do it. Make sure they're fully satisfied with it. You think, that must be code for killing, let's go kill. So you go in and kill everyone, but at no point have you been told, go and kill these people. And then right at the end of the game, they're like, well, you realise you're the one that did it. Do you like killing people? Do you enjoy hurting people? You're not a very nice person,
I want to play this game and not kill
Yes,
anyone.
I am.
Have you not played Hotline Miami?
Mm-hmm. I've always been interested in
You're
playing
on my
it.
shared games on Steam.
Yeah,
I've
I
got
saw
it.
it on
Download
there.
it and play it.
I've always been interested in playing it.
So
So
the second one takes place after the first one's happened.
Yes.
The killer of the first one, where he's nicknamed Jacket by the players and by most of the game, is that he's been labelled like a mass murderer.
yeah,
But also due to these phone calls and this group that organised the phone calls, a lot of people are sort of thinking, well, maybe he was made to do it. But basically, a group of fans that fancy themselves vigilantes years later think, oh, we want to kind of do the similar thing that he did. Hail him as a hero. It's like, yeah, he killed all those Russian mobsters. He's brilliant. I hope the phone calls start again and we can start doing that. When they, from what it's been told, when they don't, they start to think, well, let's just go out and, these people probably deserve to die, so let's go out and beat the shit out of this gang because they're awful.
yeah.
So, and a lot more story build up on the previous game and what sort of happened between the first one and the second one. So I can't wait for Denison Games to release that one. And that also comes with a map builder. They're not interested in making a third one after that, but they're putting in quite a detailed map and level designer.
Yeah.
So that they said, we don't want to make Hotline Miami 3, but you, the fans, can.
Yeah, that's cool.
Similar as a metaphor, it's saying like the fan, because in the second one, the people you play as are known as the fans.
Yeah.
And they're making their own Hotline Miami. So
Yeah.
it's all very, it points the finger at you and says the player or the community that play it and say, actually, this is more related to you than you think. You're the guy at the computer saying, let's kill everyone.
Yeah.
With no consequence, but there is consequence. Anyway, those are my two anticipated games for this year.
Okay. Mine. It was going to be I was going to mention it second because I think, but I might as well say it first. Now, Dom's already spoken about it. The Division.
What?
What?
In all due respect,
I'm
you did
really-
list most of the games.
Yeah, I am. I'm really looking forward to that game. I don't know if it is going to hit the mark as well.
It's going to be shit. You're like, Division, fuck off, Dom. It's going to be rubbish.
I know. I know. I did that on purpose.
Which one is the Division? Because I forgot about that one.
It's the kind of MMO one. It's Tom Clancy's The Division, and
So-
it's in a post-apocalyptic.
Maybe it'll be different.
Post-apocalyptic. What I can't remember what cities it's in. It's like some American city, big city, maybe like Washington, maybe. And it's a really weird post-apocalyptic thing. It was like a virus that was able to travel around like on money and stuff, and
Alright.
they do this whole thing where like, oh, it's on the money, so like it gets handed to people and everyone touches like all money constantly, so like a whole population gets sick and like loads of people just get wiped out. And then I don't really understand the story so much as there was like a contingent the government made of like spec ops kind of people who seem to have be to go around and restore order, but I don't know how that works into an MMO kind of thing where it seems to be just groups are fighting each other. So but they kind of make it seem like groups of this Spec Ops thing are fighting each other. So I don't understand. I don't know if maybe that just broke down and it's just now these trained people who are just fighting for their own survival rather than for a government agency or
for funsies.
Or if
we know what the government does when there's a huge disaster: kill any witnesses.
Yeah. Or it might just be because it seems to be that there's PvP stuff in it, so it might just be that maybe you can either choose to be like the government side or you can choose to be the
rebels or
rebel bandits,
civilians standing up for their life.
Yeah, well, I don't know because in some of the trailers it does have these government people protecting actual civilians from like some bad people that are doing just like beating them up and killing them for no reason.
Tom Clancy would never paint the Americans as the bad guys.
Yeah, of course.
Good guy, Clancy.
It's always the Russians or the Indonesians or the Peruvians or the people that don't have any like space program or military program or anything
or any threat whatsoever.
I blame the Eskimos. Damn it! Send Sam Fisher out there. So, they've got an underground sub base below the ice where they pretend where they pretend they're fishing. What?
If you turn all the igloos upside down, they're actually missile silos.
The igloos at the top of the missiles.
Yeah.
The little door the door on the igloo just stays behind and it's just a complete dome.
So it's talking about Tom Clancy. That's another thing that I'm looking forward to is Rainbow Six.
Dinklebot
6. Rainbow Six. The Siege. The Seizure.
The Sigwy.
That's again another thing we don't really know so much about, but I am really looking forward to seeing what that turns out to be, and it looks very interesting.
I know you've always shown an interest on, taking loads of hostages and holding out in a building for as long as you can.
Yeah,
and now you can do that.
Yeah. I've been planning it for a while, and now I don't have to do it in person.
Well, that's a year's planning down the toilet.
What's it called? Quantum thingy, isn't it out next
Quantum
year?
Break.
Quantum Break, the one that we don't know anything about, but we had a brief trailer that didn't make much sense. Isn't that out next year?
Probably, I guess so.
Yeah, well, it's called Quantum Break, and stuff happens, as much as we know.
Time.
It has the word quantum, it must be very timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff.
Wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey.
It's timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly
Time Shift,
stuff.
the sequel.
You stop time and start time.
Nobody played Time Shift.
And there's time in it.
Time definitely takes place throughout the game.
Yeah.
No. You shit me not.
Somewhere between the start of the game and the end of the game, time happens. It passes, it exists.
Does time splitters happen? Because that would be amazing.
Why is there not a game where the entire time is stopped? You play a whole game.
I believe that was called Bernard's Watch.
Oh, man!
What if he dropped a watch down a drain?
What, and time was stopped forever?
Yeah.
Next time he ever finds it after he's turned into Gollum, he would unclick it and have aged so much, and everyone's like, what, you were just standing there? It's like, no! 90 years have passed!
It'd be like Flight of the Navigator. No, yeah, no, that's a game that's coming out next year, I think.
Yeah, and the other
that's a game.
The other game that I'm looking forward to is Witcher 3's.
Well, everyone's looking forward to that. I didn't think it was prudent to mention it, seeing everyone and their dog is looking forward to Witcher 3. But fair enough for you.
I'm being impressed if a dog's going to play that game. But yeah, I'm really, really looking.
There's some
forward
pretty
to
smart dogs in Hastings. Most of them drinking Yateses.
Yoshi's Woolly World. That's coming out next year. Sorry.
Okay. Right. So should we move on to Game of the Year? 2014.
Just to cut off for 1 second, you were speaking about Yoshi's something.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Going into Mario World. Someone made a 3D map of a crossover between Luigi's Mansion and Resident Evil. It looks amazing.
I'm going to find this when I go home.
Check it out. Anyway, Game of the Year.
Dom, do you want to do your Game of the Year?
A Game of the Year? No.
Okay, cool. Josh, do you want to do your Game of the Year?
My Game of the Year, even though I bought it like 3 days ago, it's been the real shining light, AAA-wise, this year, has been Shadow of Mordor. And I really enjoyed that game. I could play that for hours on end.
Yes.
Without actually doing any of the story, just playing with Sauron's army, like, nope, now Burnt Face is going to be leader. Nope, now Dipshit's going to be the leader.
See, that's what put me off that game. I loved it so much, and then Rawface died, and so fuck it, done now.
Done now.
My thing didn't work.
The pain is too much. But it is everything about it is pretty solid. The fighting's good. I do like the story, as many as there are naysayers about the lore. It's just a really fun game. It's a nice mixture of open world, stealth, fighting, and almost like sort of, micromanagement. And I thought it was a lot of fun. And like you said about it being innovative, you come across captains, or you come across ones that have killed your friends, or you could, like, even when you don't set out to do a mission to kill that captain, you could just be like on your way there. It's like, oh, don't I know him? Isn't he on my? Oh, he's on my bounty list, kind of. Well, I've got time.
Apparently, that game originally started off as a Batman game.
Yes, I heard this.
And and you can see, like, because obviously Batman doesn't kill, so it makes sense that these people coming back, like these captains of gangs or whatever, are coming back from being beaten up.
For being brutally murdered and having their heads cut off.
Oh, yeah, but
Sawbones sought me out, he did. I'm going to make you pay for what you done
That's
to
the other
me.
thing I loved about that. Why were all the captains Cockneys?
Oh, yeah, some and some. Some of them are really camp. It's like,
Oh, captain versus captain.
Yeah.
This is going to be bloody.
so, oh my god, it's the most effeminate orc I've ever heard.
Camp Cockneys. All orcs are just Cockney or camp.
Mind you, they're not orcs, are they? They're urks. So they're bred and trained for war. Therefore, if they want to express a more feminine or cockney side, they can.
It was
I'm going to gut you silly. Wear your skin.
Alright, I can't take you seriously. You're going to die.
Have you ever finished one of those Uruk versus Uruk things by branding the other captain? So, and then you...
I'm not sure if I have. I think sometimes I've let it play out because I thought, the branded captain I've got's power level like much higher than the other one.
over 9,000.
What, 9,000? It should be easy. And other I found that wasn't the case, where this other one had like a power level of 4, but he was a big fuck with a shield. And just went poof. And my
their
captain
things might not go with each other, like their effects and stuff. So you might be fighting. Your one might be against a ranged fighter, and it might be that his only vulnerability is ranged.
That's what makes it so good as well. Is they've all got their own little randomised.
Yeah, why
stats
that stuff doesn't make sense? It's cool. Like, why suddenly I can't actually melee fight this guy? Why stabbing him doesn't seem to do anything?
Because he's good. He's good. He's immune to stealth finishes. He's always looking. He knows. But it gives it a good gameplay.
But
you have to switch up your fighting style depending on who you're fighting.
It's cool to actually have to look into and research.
When in doubt, poison.
Yeah.
When in doubt, just kill them all with poison.
Oh, but I did that and it didn't work, and it was really annoying one time. I'd like planned it out for ages. I was like, I'd gone around and then I got to like the captain, and then they drunk it, and like, some of them killed each other, and then the others then the actual ones I didn't want to kill didn't do anything. They just stood there, like watched them kill each other, and were like, oh. Right.
This burp just like, that was a bit rough.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Just Shadow of Mordor is your top thing? I mean, it deserves to be. I think it's an excellent game.
Well, if again, indie market, I will say, I will push out this War of Mine was brilliant game. Anyone who hasn't played it needs to. It's going. I think it's still going for quite cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably January Steam sale.
Probably.
But it's a lot of fun. It will make you feel like shit and depressed afterwards, but it's well worth it. It's immersive enough to make you feel that, rather than sitting there like, I don't really feel anything for these people.
Yeah.
So it does make you make difficult decisions, and it makes you hate yourself for every one of them.
Kind of like our podcast.
I'm going to go home and cry into a pillow.
Yeah. Right, Dom, have you picked something?
Yes, Bayonetta 2.
You don't have a Wii U.
Sarkeesian going to get on your case!
Out of nowhere!
Suddenly Bayonetta happened.
Or Elder Scrolls Online.
I've still not played that.
I think
Waiting
I'd be
for it to
torn.
go free to play.
Give it a week. I think I'd be torn. Obviously, I think for console-wise, Shadow of Mordor is undoubtedly the best game of last year. There's no two ways about it. But then again, from sort of October time, I purchased, or November time, I purchased the expansion to Blizzard's successful Mamorpaga, and got Warlords of Draenor, and it's just.
I thought for a minute when you said successful, you were actually going to say Diablo 3.
Diablo 3. No. Although that's also awesome. No, I think I've not enjoyed Warcraft this much since Burning Crusade. No, tell a lie. Since Wrath, even. I'm getting them mixed up. Since Wrath of the Lich King, and they've done this is the third expansion since Wrath of the Lich King, and we're going back quite a few years now.
Yeah.
It's basically a whole new game at this point, but it's so fucking good. Warlords is just so...
I've heard, and Liz has shown me a lot about the garrisons and stuff like that, and that looks pretty cool.
Just all of it. They've basically, they finally brought out sort of new models, which is something people have bitched and moaned about.
They don't have new Blood Elves. I mean, they've shown them, but they're not in the game yet, are they?
They're about to be. But
you're about to be.
They're just as feminine as they always have been.
But it's just so good, and I've been convincing people, just anybody I can that I know used to play it, or have considered playing it. I'm just bullying everybody into playing it. It's like, you have no idea. Like, even my brothers who... I mean, Kenny's not played it probably again since Wrath. I don't think he's played it since then, because he just stopped caring. I know Rory played right up
until... He's got all of Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria.
Exactly. I think Rory played Cataclysm, but never bothered with Mists. Yeah, and they're both like, nah, it's shit. I was like, yeah, but you don't... And yes, Mists was a bit naff, and Cataclysm wasn't great, but this is just... It's a whole other level. It's so good, and I can't praise it enough. So I'd be torn... For Game of the Year, I'd be torn between... for console-based, Shadows of Mordor, without a shadow of a doubt. No pun intended. Shadows of
Mordor of a doubt.
Without a Mordor. Shadow of Hodor.
I'm trying to think of a pun for Wraith, but I can't be bothered.
No, you can't. That was amazing, and then Warlords, because it's just it made me so happy again. I haven't loved WoW this much.
Just quickly, buying Warlords of Draenor gives you Mr. Pandaria free, doesn't it?
Everything else is just sort of included, yeah.
That's good, because that's the other one I haven't got. Is Mists.
Yeah, you have to. It's basically all included in the free download that comes with it when you try and install the game. So, and you don't even have to buy the physical copy. Obviously, you can buy the whole game digital anyway.
Well, that's the way of PC gaming now. Sadly,
So
now I've got fibre optic. I can digitally download at a decent speed, but I do enjoy.
I mean, that's what I've done. I mean, any other PC game I'm quite happy to just download, but with it's cheaper to download as well. But with WoW, because I've got all the boxes,
it's kind of nice.
It's a collection. It's a thing. So I have to buy it. I can't just download it. I have to buy the thing because I need it in my life. So yeah, Shadows of Hodor or Warlords of Draenor. They all rhyme. It's all good.
What about you then, Carl?
I don't have one.
Bollocks.
Sorry.
Have you not thought about it?
So we're going to finish this podcast here.
Oh, we're saving it, are we?
No, of course not. Dragon Age Inquisition.
Not EverQuest Next.
No, not EverQuest.
Next.
Can't think of a good name.
EverQuest Next.
Dragon Age Inquisition. Sorry, I really enjoy that game. Apart from, I seem to not be able to get very far in it because I keep making new characters.
Are you doing that now?
That's what you did with Warcraft, isn't it?
That's what I did with Warcraft. That's what
you should do with things like Skyrim as well.
Yeah, no, Skyrim's okay because they don't force you though. Like no. Skyrim, I played a character completely until the point that I was done with that character at a high level, and then I might make another one of something else. But with like Warcraft or Dragon Age, they force you into it. You have to pick a class at the start, and then you're forced to do what their vision of that class is, and not necessarily what your vision of the class is and stuff as well, which kind of annoys me. But yeah, I just started a assassin rogue dual wield, as they're called in this, and I've been enjoying that most. Or I was enjoying Mage as well. Mage was really fun. Apart from at a certain point in the game, you unlock specializations, and I changed all my moves. I respect myself. Chose this specialization.
You respect yourself.
Yeah, before I wrecked myself.
That's sad. See, I was gonna buy this game, and Kenny told me not to because he doesn't think I'd get along with it. He's got it. He loves it.
I don't know.
He reckons
might.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. Does he have it in disc?
Yeah.
Why don't you just borrow it?
I'm sure I will.
I really.
But he was saying because I was saying because now that he's got an Xbox One, and since we don't ever seem to play anything ever except Destiny occasionally, I was like, I want to play with people, and Kenny he said the two games he's playing.
Liz has just got Diablo 3 on Xbox, and now I've got that on Xbox.
But I have that on PC, which again the last time I played Diablo was when you and Jack played.
Yes,
I haven't touched it since. But I was talking between that and Far Cry. The fourth.
Yeah.
Which he reckoned if I'm going to play either one of them with him, which is the only games apparently he's playing at the moment. And he's like, well, if you want to play a game, if we're going to play games online, it'll have to be this one or this one. He doesn't think I'll get into Dragon Age.
So I'm thinking of get Dragon Age Inquisition. He's like, I think this is more suitable for you.
I think you should go and eat the railings. Okay.
Here's something from the Imagine series.
It's crayons. Just draw what you think what you think.
Nintendogs, go!
Yeah, I have. Even though I keep going back with Dragon Age, it's also just because I want to explore more stuff, and that I get into a point that it's like well, I kind of want to see what this thing's like before I go and put any more time down into like going down this path before I like completely solidify it. So that's I wish that every game would just give you, which occasionally games do, where they like give you a full specced out character and then take all your skills away. I'd like to see just be able to like have a demo of a character. Like you might, especially with WoW, where you have shit tons of moves and stuff, you might not know what you're doing. But it'd be cool just to be like go in somewhere where like have a demo of a high level character where there's like enemies that aren't going to be able to actually really hurt you or do anything, just so you can see like what it's like to play as that character.
Yeah,
you might not get all the tactics and stuff from it, and you might turn out to be shit at the tactics, but at least you've seen what the character likes, and if you're like, oh, actually, I don't kind of like that thing. I don't like having to do this or that.
I was playing WoW for a couple of months and went through basically every character class combination possible before I settled on the one that I now play as my main.
Yeah.
Just because there's just so many options.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tricky because you just keep going through and then you delete them. And then obviously with something like with the PC game, it's a bit easier because obviously with the console you only get so many characters or save slots, so you have to keep.
Yeah, I filled up my 50 save slots the other day.
You have to start again and again, and you're like, fuck.
But then I went and deleted about 4 or 5 characters that I'd only got to like. They were ones that were like level 1 or 2 where I just made them and then was like, actually I don't like how they like because they look slightly different in the actual game. And I was like, actually, I don't like the look of that. So I went and made a new character.
His nose is too big.
Like Liz's character, she made it and it was like looked really good. And then she came out and she got, I think it's like a massive underbite or something. And she's like, I can't play with that. And now she hasn't played it since. Like,
when you see
she's only level 2 as well.
Hey there, how you doing?
What am I missing out on here? Both
What?
your phones seem to keep going off at the same time.
My phone's not going off. My phone's there. On silent.
It's just my
Maybe
phone.
I'm going mad.
That's just his phone keeps going
It's
off.
vibrating. It sounds like
It's not my phone going off. It's Bonnie keeps being at the front door.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about Dragon Age. A lot of people don't know about it already. The story I've found really interesting so far. Obviously, I haven't got to the end. Some of the stuff is truly fucking epic, and it feels like some awesome like fantasy film at times. It feels like a good version of Lord of the Rings or something.
Whoa, hating.
Well,
Shots fired.
Wrecked, mate.
Yeah, like there's some cool like especially when you go and find your big fortress that you have at a point in the game. You change where your troop is, which isn't really a
something
big
like
spoiler.
a garrison.
I'd say it's something like a hold in the sky. It's not called Skyhold at all.
Spoilers. I think
But
before
that's
this
a
bit
big
you need to
thing,
play
innit?
a thing that this goes, warning, this is a spoiler. If you don't want to hear it, skip to this part.
It's all over if you look into the game, because there's stuff like there was like pre-order bonuses for like thrones and stuff, and that's for Skyhold. You don't have that in Haven, and that's when
Not Sky Mall.
and that's when you become the Inquisitor, which you obviously know that you're going to be, and all the promotional stuff beforehand refers to the player character as the Inquisitor.
Yeah,
So yeah, you kind of
that's fair enough.
yeah
The Inquisitor. That
But-
sounds like a really naff pre-made name on SmackDown.
yeah.
None of us is wrong. The Inquisitor.
Well, it's
This reminds me of the Red Dwarf character.
the reason it's called
I am the Inquisitor.
the Inquisition is the group that you're with in the game. It's not just a random name for the game.
Nobody expects the Inquisition.
No.
Every time I see that game, I want to make that joke, but I think, no, too immature, too easy.
And yet you made it.
Oh, I had to. I've held it in for a month.
The shame is I didn't play 2, and there's a lot of stuff that relates back to 2, like an awful lot of storyline stuff, so I'm kind of fucked with a lot of that. But I found online, which I wanted to talk about, but I'll talk about it a bit more next week when we do a proper normal podcast again, is a YouTube channel, and it has a bunch of lore series, and one of them is Dragon Age lore. And it goes through. It has like a big thing, and it talks all about the backstory of Dragon Age up to, and it's 4 Inquisition, so it's up to 2, including that and everything. So it doesn't go like too spoiler heavy on the events of the games, but it does say like stuff, and they do it from a point of view in the game.
It's not
as
the
well.
Law of 30 Seconds series, is it? Law in 30 seconds.
No.
Because otherwise, if you sit down and expect a 2-hour video, you're only going to get 30
No,
seconds.
the
I
videos are like 10, 15 minutes long, and then there's like 10 or more videos of them as well. So.
I did something like that the other day, and it made me feel like just a massive loser. But it was for Warcraft.
If you've got an interest in it, then
No, but
I
I
had
was
it
doing it
going
for-
while playing Dragon Age.
I was doing it for Warcraft, and I was listening to basically somebody just going through all different lore and bits and pieces and explaining connections and bits and pieces of the story and why this has happened and what da-da-da-da. I must have watched, I think by the 7th video, I stopped bothering and unsubscribed. I was like, you know what? I know all of this. Like, everything they're trying to explain is like, they've not said a single thing I didn't already know. I'm a massive loser. I'm going to subscribe for the channel now.
We're talk-
I still
next
don't
week.
know loads of lore from Warcraft because I played it from Orcs and Humans #1 up until World of Warcraft. Certain I'd probably say Burning Crusade storyline wise. Obviously, I know what happens with the Lich King and Cataclysm, but most of it I just sort of think when people are like, oh, this character and this character, I think. So I remember old Grim Doomhammer. He was sort of like number 2. He was pretty badass. Do you remember Uther Lightbringer?
They named Ogrimmar after him, so you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I've played all the games, but I've also read all 15, 16 books at this point, and then all the comics that they've done.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm like, there's no point in me listening to this. I know.
Well, you're a nerd.
All right, well, I think that's
it.
Oh yeah, there's one game that could have been my game of the year, and I don't know if it would be, but I haven't played it yet, and I really want to, which you already talked about as well a bit, which is Far Cry 4, which I really, really want to play.
You ever play Far Cry 3?
I absolutely fucking loved Far Cry 3,
Yeah.
and I really want to play 4, so I'm getting 4 fairly soon. I just got Alien, but I doubt that's going to be my game of the year, but I probably will really enjoy it.
The only reason I haven't already bought it is because in our local game establishment, it's like £60.
Yeah.
Online, it's 40. And also, just this seems a little redundant to me. I was looking in game to get it, and like it's it's £59.99, 60 quid for it because it's like the special edition. I'm like, well, can I get the standard edition? And it turns out there wasn't a standard edition, which kind of makes special edition a little fucking redundant, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not special if it's the only option.
Edition.
Exactly. The one we released edition.
The one that the only one you can get edition.
Yeah. Fucking, it's not special edition if it's the only one available.
There is another game that
Just
I
because
would...
it comes with free stuff doesn't make it special.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's another game that I quite want to play, but I really doubt it would be. And that is, funny enough, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And I keep asking to borrow that off you.
You do. That was a great Kevin Spacey movie.
I really just want to. I want to play it. I'm kind of a bit more interested in playing the multiplayer than the single player, but I would quite like to see what the single player is like. But it's the first time I've actually each year I look at a Call of Duty game. I haven't played since Black Ops 1, and each time I go, I'm fairly interested in Call of Duty this year, and then I hear like complete shit about it. But this one is the one that I kind of haven't heard complete shit about.
Would you like a quick breakdown? I don't know the plot, but I can guess it
Exactly.
for you. I'm going to say America threatened by foreign country, horrible, evil, dirty, underprivileged minorities. That country gets bombed. Main character dies, or a main character dies. New character takes. You play as another main character. You've avenged this character. America wins. America is good. America is life.
Yeah, this is all.
But at some point, somebody betrays you randomly that doesn't make any sense to the story.
Oh, good point. Sorry, I forgot
Yeah.
the random betrayal.
Random betrayal.
This one's all about PMCs though as well. It's not just like America. It's all like
Let me guess.
future.
Let me guess
so.
a slight bit though. Most of the PMCs aren't from America. Most of the
I don't know.
PMCs are foreign.
Honestly,
I don't know.
It's good.
Kevin Spacey's in it.
Kevin Spacey.
He's become a selling point for them, hasn't he?
Well, it's the fact that he asked to be in it, and they're like,
Did he actually ask to be
because
in
it? Yeah.
if you watch House of Cards, which is something I
No,
watched this
I
year,
don't.
and it's fantastic. I've not written. Kevin Spacey's never been on my radar, and then I
No,
watched House of Cards,
mine
and he's
neither.
fucking incredible in that show. It's brilliant. I love him. But in that, his character regularly plays Call of Duty as like a thing to do in the evening. And then, apparently he turned around and was like, yeah, this new game, it sounds really awesome, I need to be in this. And they're like, you're Kevin Spacey, we can't fucking afford you. And he's like, no, you don't understand. I'm going to be in this game. All right, don't you worry about paying me, I'm going to get in this shit. And he was like, yeah, all right. So he's in the game. But, I mean, it's good.
Imagine watching House of Cards and he's playing the storyline for
Well, that was what was
Call
weird
of
to me.
Duty.
And it's something like,
Yeah.
hey, that guy looks cool.
Yeah.
But the weird thing was,
little nod there.
in House of Cards, he's got a southern accent. And then going to Call of Duty, he's just his voice. I'm like, why doesn't he sound like Frank
Why didn't you sound like Kevin Spacey? Obviously, Kevin Spacey is Southern.
It doesn't make sense. But it'd be fine. I'd quite happily, for story-wise, it's good. It's better than, like, the same as you. I haven't properly played one since, I think, Black Ops 1. I think I knocked out Modern Warfare 3 in about an hour, because that was as long as the campaign lasted. And I wish I'd put it on Veteran, just so I didn't have to play it a second time to get the achievements. But yeah, the story's fine, and it's better than any of the Black Ops wank that they've churned out, because I got 2 missions into Black Ops 2 before I threw that out the window. But I'd also be quite happy if they just cut out any gameplay and you just had the cutscenes with Kevin Spacey, and it's like, yeah, Kevin Spacey movie.
The last one I played was Modern Warfare 2. Sorry, I'll cut this short in a minute. But the last one I bought, was Modern Warfare 2. But the last one I played was Black Ops, because a friend of mine left a copy at my house, and I was very bored one day, and I thought, well, it's got a single-player campaign. I am not getting involved in the multiplayer, but it's got a single-player, so I'll play that. And it's like, oh, well, there'll be a betrayal any minute now. So, like, you can just time it.
Here it comes.
Everything seems to be going so well.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Alright, so that is it from our Game of the Year and 2014 from us and everything.
It is. I'm going to bring the game around for you to borrow now.
Yeah, a new year, new Robot Punch. So yeah, thanks for listening to the Robot Punch Gaming Podcast of 2014.
We're going to go join the gym now for a week.
And stop drinking and stop eating chocolate and start doing something else productive. And
I'm going to go buy a kebab after this.
Well, I already don't do drugs, so I might start.
You me. 2015, Josh loves cocaine.
Where can I get coke around here?
It's like going deep web.
Deep web for coke.
Deep web.
Deep web for coke.
Yeah, I am Carl Lipscomb. You can follow me on Twitter at Carlis_awesome. You can find my Twitch account, that is Carlis_awesome. You can find my YouTube account, that is Carlis_awesome.
That's what
Dom's
we should
pointing
do.
at me.
I am. We should start Twitch streaming together, like
Yeah, sure.
punchily.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we should do that. We should have a podcast. If we have a whole day set aside, do a podcast and then do a Twitch.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, sure. We should. Okay, let's do that. Cool. We'll see if we can do that next week or something.
I'm alone.
We'll see if we can do that next week. Yeah. And I was joined by Josh Crunden.
You can follow me at Josh Crunden for Twitter. That's about it.
Is that your Twitter name, Josh Crunden for Twitter?
Yeah, at Josh Crunden.
Josh for Twitter.
Well, you can follow me at Josh Crunden.
Or you can follow me in real life.
Or you can follow me.
Follow me around town. Follow me
If
to
you
my
want
house.
want my address, you can follow me from this bush. And also check out 1066 Airsofting on Facebook if you are an airsofter or new to it or just want to get some new gear.
Want to be shot at.
Want to be shot at. It's fun. I swear.
And for once, I was joined by the Yeti Dom Giles. Don't they sue you over that?
Do they?
Yeah. They were, in Kevin Smith's new film Tusk, he wanted to put in a line that said, it's been a while since whatever the character's name got his dick wet, because they were talking about sex, and the person
Hey, you
goes
can use
to sing
that.
that.
You can use that as your quote.
Yeah. and they checked it with Stained, and they said no, you can't put that in the film because they didn't like the line thing got his dick wet, and it was like, really. You really have
So
that
what
much
did they
of an issue?
copyright? The line, it's been a while.
Well, yeah, because it's something of a song. They had to, the lawyers had to check it.
I use that line all the time.
Yeah, so I'm
You
saying
are in
don't
a
do
lot of trouble.
I earn a lot of royalties.
You owe that band from the 90s a lot of money.
Yeah,
Where can we follow you?
Me?
Yeah, I'd like to follow
To
you
the
now.
men's bathroom, obviously. Or
I have never seen a glory hole, and I'm always upset. I want to see one in my
I've
life.
seen two.
One's in your
They're
bedroom.
immaculately clean.
you can follow me on Twitter at OnlyDomGiles, and my Twitch is very much the same, twitch.com/OnlyDomGiles. And youtube.com/OnlyDomGiles when I start putting bits and pieces up there again, which I've already started working on. Me and the small person are putting together an intro for our Loot Crates videos, because that's cool. I didn't get my Christmas Loot Crate. When did that happen?
Do you not get one at Christmas?
No, they did one, but mine hasn't turned up. I'm fucking furious.
Postman obviously got it.
I'm going to stab him. I guess that's it. I'm not anything else.
Okay, you can follow the Robot Punch Gaming Twitter at RBTPunch, robotpunchgaming.com. I'm going to do a new website as well for the new year, new Robot Punch. And
We need a Robot Punch Twitch. So like,
we have a Robot Punch Twitch.
oh, okay.
But they're changing how some of the Twitch stuff works. So
it's in the attic.
hopefully
We'll dust
that's
it off
sorting
and
it
get
out there. They're seemingly going to start making them like you can have a thing like a YouTube channel, but for that, so like it will have, say, if you're twitching at some time, Twitch streaming, not actually twitching.
I've gone cross-eyed.
It can stream you, and then say if you finish and Josh starts doing it, it can go, like have
That's
different
a
channels
cool
and
idea.
stuff.
So you're like umbrellaed, basically.
Yeah. So
That's sweet. That's
hopefully
good.
it will be set up like that or something in future. But at the moment, I want everyone to use their own, and then you can do it through the Rope Punch one as
Link
well.
it together.
But it will be through
I only have 23 followers.
through only Dom Giles, through Twitch, through
How?
Rope Punch.
You don't do anything.
I have 23 followers on Twitch.
Nice one.
Right, cool. I guess that's probably people listening to this. They don't follow me.
Well, the most. No. The only time I've ever streamed is not me. James likes to stream his Minecrafting.
I think James likes to stream his farts.
He does that too.
He just walks around naked
I should start putting up his videos.
on the deep web.
That's his son, man.
I didn't say anything else about it. I just said he walks around naked on the deep web.
Stop pointing the mic at me.
So I don't have a quote. Does anyone have a quote?
I attack your life points directly.
Line.
It is the 4th of January 2016 and I did that on purpose. Did you like it?
No.
It is the 4th of January 2015 and this is the Rope Punch Gaming Podcast. I did the thing too late.
Start again.
It is the... I was going to say the 24th then. It is... I've got a camera, don't I?
Go back to Voldemort laughing.
It is the 4th of January 24th. A fucking asshole.
He still fucking said it.
Do you want to get some cue cards?
Your line is, it is.
It is the 4th of January 2014. Fuck!
Please leave all of this in.
Yeah, do leave it in.
It,
On, he's corpsing. Give him a minute.
It is the 4th of January 2015.
Yay.
Cat's dead.
Nicotine and poo. Nicotine and poo.
No.
Nicotine and poo.
Fish.
Fish.
Fish. Fish.
Poop.
Fish. Fish.
Poop.
Fish.
Poop.
Fish.
Poop.
Fish.
Poop.
Fish. Fish.
The
Fish.
system
Fish.
is down.
Fish.
The system
Fish.
is down.
Fish. Fish.
The
Fish.
system
Fish.
is
Fish.
down.
Fish.
Poop.
Fish.
Poop.
Fish. Fish.
Poop.
Fish.
Poop.
Fish.
Poop.
Fish. Fish. Fish.
Poop.
Fish.
Poo. Nicotine and poo.